Oh my gosh, I did it again. I forgot to do an intro. So, welcome to Monday Measures. So, this is not keto. This is not on my diet, but it's something that my grandmother used to make, and Faith wanted it for her birthday, and we had other plans for her birthday. So, and then Christmas, everything happened. So, so we ended up forgetting about the chicken and dumplings. So that's what this is. It's chicken and dumplings. It's my grandmother's recipe. And when she passed away, I was like, oh no, the recipe's gone. But I actually found something real similar on the internet, and it was a Cracker Barrel recipe. So I altered it a little bit, and that's what my grandmother used to make. So if you've ever had the chicken and dumplings from Cracker Barrel, that's what it is. It's got the flat noodles, not the big dough balls. Bean, oh my goodness, she always got to be bugging me when I'm talking to the camera. So anyways, I'll get you to the video, and here it is. So there's my whole chicken. That's almost 4.5 pounds. I'm going to put it on high for probably about 5 hours, because I would love to cook it on low, because if you cook it on low, it's just going to fall apart right off the bones. I was going to cook it last night, but I didn't, and that's how it goes. So I'm going to sprinkle it with this Montreal chicken. And then I'm going to pour enough chicken broth in there to probably about a cup, just to cover the bottom. Let that cook for 5 hours. Okay, I shredded all the meat off the chicken. I got some leftovers for the doggies. But we're going to save all of that chicken, and we're going to do our noodles next. So we've saved all of the broth that came from the chicken, and I put a little bit of broth in there. So all of that's gonna go into a pot, and then we're gonna add more water to it and more broth. Okay, here's all of our ingredients. We've got salt, baking soda, there's flour in there. Hopefully I have 3 tablespoons of shortening in there. And it looks like there's probably enough. And then I don't normally keep buttermilk around. My grandpa used to drink buttermilk, so there was always buttermilk in my grandma's house. So this is my grandma's recipe, and I already made the buttermilk because we're going to need 3/4 cup. So if you ever ate at Cracker Barrel their chicken and dumplings with the flat noodles, the big flat noodles, that's what this recipe is. So it's an old country recipe that my grandma used to make, and I'm gonna make it for my girls because I can't eat it. I ate a little bit of the chicken, and I had some of the broth out of there, and the dogs got the necks and the livers and all the other stuff that's good for them. There's a smudge. I'll fix that. So there we have it, a little bit over a half of that big pot. I mean, you can kind of measure out what you want. You need at least 2 quarts in there. So whatever's left over from the drippings, and then I put a bunch of chicken broth in there, and then I put some water, and I actually put some chicken bouillon in there because that gives it a little bit of extra flavor. And I'm gonna boil that up while we get our dough going here. Oh, so these Tupperware bowls are super old. So they aren't dirty, it just, you know, they're starting to wear away. I'm sure all that plastic is not good for us. Wearing away off of those. So I need 2 cups of flour. And we're going to put in all of our dry ingredients. So I need a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Should have got my measuring utensils out here. Wait a minute. I don't have a half. I got a quarter. So we'll just do a half of a whole. There we go. And a half a teaspoon of salt. This grinder really comes out fast, so mix that up. And then I'm going to cut my shortening in there. I need 3 tablespoons of shortening. Still got a little bit left. I gotta remember to have that in there so I can use it for something. So we're gonna make some crumbly bits here. See what I'm using? Yeah, I'm trying to get this done before Mary comes in from the airport. Because she's going to be back home in a little bit. And then she can take it to Faith tomorrow for work. Because they are working on Monday. They probably will be very slow. So I'm going to mix this buttermilk up a little more, because some of it probably settled. Now we don't want to stir that too much. We're going to roll it out. Dough, it's dough. Yay. flour my surface. Trying to get it into one big ball here. Yeah, it feels like it's kind of dry. Sprinkle it a little bit. That'll work in as I don't think I've made this in probably 5 or 6 years. Pre-COVID. Crazy I didn't make it over COVID. So we're going to roll this out to about a 1/4 inch thickness. As you can see, it's really thick. So you gotta really work it in there. And we're not looking to be perfect. My broth is boiling over there. And normally I would double this batch, but that's with me and life eating it too. But we aren't eating it, so it's just for Faith, Heather, and Mary. And this is actually, they're gonna blow up kind of in the broth. Okay, so I'm going to cut it into little strips. We are not going to worry about all of this stuff because it's just going to kind of disintegrate into the broth. And you got the lovely bean music again back there. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I don't know if you can hear that so much on the video. Oh, that's not very straight. I'm going to show you what I mean by, we're not going to, doesn't have to be perfect. Now it's Kip's turn. Crunch, 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 crunch. Yeah, I made a big mess over there because I had to search for my rolling pin. It's been that many years. I probably haven't used it since I made this last time. So my water's boiling and my stove was clean. I went over here to keep it from overflowing because it was starting to foam up. And I had flour on my hands, so now I got flour all over the stove. But we want to keep this at a rolling boil. We want that rolling like that. We're going to take these strips and we're going to pull. So it's going to make them even a little bit thinner. Because like I said, they're going to puff up in the water. Once we get all of those in there, we're going to turn it down and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. See how that's puffing up? And just like that, by the time I got everything cleaned up and put away, it's time to add the chicken. 10 minutes later. So we're just going to take all that chicken that I shredded up from the pot and put it back in there. And see how those noodles are making that thick? It's soup. Easy. It's actually really easy. And by the time these girls eat it tomorrow, all those flavors run together. Oh my gosh, it'll be so good. It's always better the next day. So there you go. German style chicken noodle soup. Oh my gosh, that looks so delicious. I can't have any. Just in time. Mary's taking off from Anchorage. It's about roughly a 45-minute flight. And so she'll be here in a little bit. I gotta get all this stuff packed up and put away, and I'll probably leave a bowl for her for when she gets home. And that's it. You know, just easy. This might not even be maybe a 10-minute video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, like I said, if you've ever been to Cracker Barrel and you've had their chicken and dumplings, it's pretty much the same thing. Only I think they use starch. They use thickeners in theirs because theirs is really kind of creamy. I depend on the flour from the noodles to thicken it up, and it does. It gets thick. So, okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.